Good afternoon. Karibu, karibu. Okay, good, good. Let's see, Dr. Dorothy is here. Hi, Dr. Dorothy.
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, karibu. Have you been learning Swahili?
You know what I do is when you guys write stuff, I look it up on Google.
Oh, okay, no, that's good. That's one way.
Because I thought, what the heck? So maybe I'll have a little bit by the time I get there.
Yes, and probably you hear it so many times that you become like, you'll be saying a few words when you come back, you were like, okay, okay. No, so like greetings, you just say habari, like how are you? Karibu, like welcome. Yeah. You hear people starting from the airport, to be like, karibu, karibu, karibu. Means like welcome, welcome. And sometimes when you say thank you, they're gonna say karibu. You know, like you're welcome, but just say karibu.
Okay, well, if this can sink into my head, that's good.
Oh, you will hear so many times that, yes, it will stay in your head. That's the only probably few words you will hear. Asante sana, karibu. You know, those are, that's good. So one more minute, we're gonna start. Thank you guys for coming early in the meeting. So I'm hoping it's gonna be short, but well informed so we can get going. So it's only 42 days. Whew.
I'm gonna run and get my glass.
Yeah, 42 days, 42 days. Yeah, and most of the time I don't count the last week because that's the time which everything is happening at that time. So that is gonna be crazy, exciting, crazy. So, and there's a lot of people are coming from different area of the country, and Istanbul is gonna be crazy. They'll be like, everybody's QHSC getting into this flight. So it's gonna be fun. Because I think only all the 30 people, except 3 people won't be on that flight. So it's gonna be crazy. And we're gonna get there early, very early in the morning, around 2:26 or 2:21 or something like that, early in the morning. So sometimes they have like 3 or 4 flights coming in. So it might be a little bit busy that time. But I'm hoping that our flight is the first, so we can get there and get through it and get out of there and go at least to get some sleep before we start the day. So it's a lot of exciting things. A lot of things are going behind the scene. We are hoping, probably I think the last meeting, which will be the next month, the end of the month, which we have a lot of more details, more concrete. You know where you're going to be. So that's going to be a bit more details, like what exactly when we get there, what are we going to be doing? So anyway, I'm going to start. So welcome to the general meeting, July general meeting. Today is the July 30th, and we have the meeting at 12. So the focus on the meeting today is to discuss just 3 main things. So I'm going to bring my leaders. On the visa application, so I did send you the information yesterday, and then there was 3 attachments on the group email, and then there was 1 attestation because it has a specific information for individual person. I didn't want to share that information, so everybody should have received the email. If you didn't, please check the email. The email that you gave me when we were collecting the information from you guys, that's the email I use. So if maybe I did a typo or something, so please let me know. Text me, just let me know, okay, I didn't get the attestation, because you're gonna need that. And I'm gonna explain in a few minutes why. So we are going to cover the visa application. We're gonna cover the signing forms. So these are the forms that we wanna make sure everybody is ready and prepared. And when we go there, we can be safe going and doing what we need to do, and then safe coming back. And then another one is just to answer some few questions about the budget. I know people are asking, what about this, what about that? I just want to need to go over quickly to tell you what exactly it entails. And then another point is the family communication. So the contact information that you gave me or you provided for your family member, do you want them to be included in the QHSC group? Because we'll be posting information while we're in the medical mission. So if there's something that is happening at that moment, your family member will be informed. So we're gonna discuss that and guys when it's time. And then there's only 2 or 3 things just to remind us to for previous information that has been submitted to make sure everybody knows what we are doing. Anybody has any question before we start? No? Okay, so I know some of you, probably this is the first time to meet, so I'm just gonna give like maybe every 30 seconds, individuals just to introduce yourself, because this is probably the first time we're gonna meet each other, and then probably the second time we're gonna be in the plane, so at least hopefully everybody's gonna have a badge. We're gonna be, hey, Theresa, let's go. But this is the more we talk to each other, the more we'll be familiar, because we're gonna be spending very close together, like very, literally very close, following each other. So knowing at least the name of people, it'll be great to know that. And so this is one option. One time we're gonna be introduced, and then the next time is gonna be next month's meeting. After that, it's going to be on the plane. So, okay, I'm just going to start quickly. I mean, I know probably everybody knows me. I'm Dr. Gabone, CEO, founder, and I'm excited to get so many people, you guys, to go with us to Tanzania. And I thank you and your family members and your workplace that allows you to come to join the medical mission. This is beyond my expectation, really. So I thank you in advance, and I'm going to thank you all the time, every time I get the chance to say thank you. So we do have a bigger group, and we have a very involved schedule. So it's going to be a lot of information. I encourage you to please, if you miss any of the meetings, please just read those emails or review the videos on your time. So to stay informed, because things will be happening very quickly, and I don't want you to say, oh, I didn't know that's going to happen. No, and I can't do individual meetings because I'm like swamped, and I'm trying to catch up to make sure everybody is prepared when we get there. So that is just a little brief from my side. I'm going to let my vice president introduce himself, and then everybody else will get at least 30 seconds to introduce themselves.
Oh, can you make me the co-host? You made Parank the co-host.
Oh. Well, he can be a co-host too.
I think somebody is being co-host, but I'm not sure. Well, anyway, I'm the vice president of QHSC. My name is Parank KGC Akabe. And last trip I was the cameraman. And I'm sure this trip I'll be doing a little bit of everything. And it's a pleasure to meet everybody again. Some names I'm not familiar with, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sekabe. Miss Theresa was next on my screen.
Oh, hi, everyone. I'm Theresa Cooper. I live in San Francisco. I grew up with Miss Kristen in New York State, and she persuaded me to go with this team, and I'm so excited to go. This was my first time, so I'll be helping out Miss Kristen in the schools. Yes,
thank you very much. And Miss Kristen lived with me for almost 10 years in Amsterdam. So I thank her for recruiting you. So now we're going to try to keep you here. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Parankarane is next to my screen.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi, I'm, I guess, Parank Jr. I'm going to be on the trip helping kids out with sports and recording, taking pictures and whatnot.
Thank you very much for joining us and come and capture all the moments. Okay, the next one on my screen is Dr. Gwen Randall.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Dr. Gwen Randall, I'm nurse anesthetist, and I'll be, I guess, leading the anesthesia team and working very closely with everyone else in the hospital setting. And I'm excited to go and get things going. Thanks.
And I want to thank also Dr. Gwen Randall for working also on the postpartum hemorrhage because that's a big part of our training. So she has been working very diligently with the UNICEF and all this background stuff. So there's so many things that is going on behind the scene, but next month when we're giving the schedule, then you can get more details. Thank you, Dr. Gwenrand. Before I forget, Ms. Theresa also, she did an excellent job for securing 2,000 Cliff Bars, which we have to test when we get there. Unfortunately, they were posted from where she is to the shipping guy. But when I get there, I'm volunteer to be test sample so I can make sure they are safe for the kids, you know, like, yeah. So thank you very much. Mr. Steve Jones.
Good morning, everyone. I am Steve Jones. I've been conducting all the spiritual aspects of the trip, also helping with the food service portion of it. It's great to be here. This is my second time. It would be my second time going, and I'm telling you, it would be a ball. You will learn a lot, and it'd be a great experience for everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Steve Jones. He also was our prayer warrior. So everywhere we went, every morning we wake up before we do anything else, he prayed for us. So, and I believe we were blessed each day because he was so there. So thank you. And we are going to elicit your prayers again as we continue doing, because this is big. It's a lot of places to go. So it's big, and thank you. On my screen, I think next is Mr. Raymond.
Hi, y'all. I'm Raymond. I'm an EMT from Virginia, and I'm going to be working with transportation on this trip.
Thank you very much, Mr. Raymond. And also he was a contributor in one of the discussion we were discussing about transferring the patient from a lower level acuity to the higher level acuity. I mean, here, you guys know what the EMT is, but also in Tanzania, they usually have to have a transport team from one hospital to the next. So he was able to share his insight of what exactly the patient needs to be ready for. And then the receiving hospital, what information they should get. So we are gonna elicit his expertise even more when we get there, because this is like an area that is not touched or explained for a while. So we're gonna probably put him on those ambulance to try and go with them and experience that part and come and give us the feedback to see what he can compare. Maybe he might be moving to Tanzania to work in the transport team. We'll see. Dr. Dorothy, you're next.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dorothy Wawrick. I'm a pediatrician. I do hospitalist medicine. So I take care of children ill enough to be in the hospital. Before I started doing that, I did outpatient medicine. So I have my feet on both sides of the wall. And what am I going to do there? Anything you guys want. Whatever needs done.
I'm going to hold you to that because Dr. Dorothy is going to help us with the Help a Baby Breathe. That's the first session of training to try and help the baby transitioning from the inside moms to
right.
outside.
But I sweep floors too. So I've been known to do that and do dishes as well. So.
Okay, thank you for adding that, but because we're going to need somebody to help us when we have conflict. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Dr. Dorothy. We're going to need your help of
all are together.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
I said, we're all in this together.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Next to my screen is Mr. Lucas Ludoni, all the way from Tanzania. Hi, Mr. Lucas. You are muted. Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
Yes, yeah, I'm Lucas Ludoni from Tanzania now. I'm here in Dodoma. I be with you during mission on September. I promise you, I meet you there.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Lucas. So Mr. Lucas was there also when we did medical mission last year, 2021 in Dodoma. That is the central part of the country. And he was there with us for 2 weeks. So thank you very much. And he's a nurse in Dodoma, one of the hospitals in Dodoma. So now he's going to work with us in Dar es Salaam. So thank you very much for coming back and help us to provide this care for our fellow Tanzanian and also work with the healthcare workers at another hospital. So thank you. Somebody's on the, oh, yes.
I was going to say, asante sana Muguzi Ludonye.
Okay.
Okay, muuguzi is like it's like a nurse in Tanzania, so they called it the word muuguzi. So you might hear a lot of it when you're looking for somebody. They said, "Oh, are you looking for muuguzi so and so?" So the word muuguzi means nurse. Okay, thank you, Lucas. Somebody who's in the iPhone.
That's me, Harriet. It's Kristen. Thank you.
Brief about you, why you are getting ready, but Miss Christine has been like in almost from the first group when there was only 5 of us, 2019. She was one of the 5, so she was a teacher, and we went with her to the first school when we had 1,600 kids, and she helps educating or training the kids with hand washing, dental hygiene, and now she's going to be also with Miss Theresa, including on those 2, they'll be doing nutrition and to these children. So teaching them what type of food they should eat based on Tanzanian resources and access, because we know you can't just say, oh, you eat the protein from using eat all the meat, but they cannot afford it. So Miss Christine and Miss Theresa are working on that just to make sure we teach an appropriate training for these kids where the food they can access in Tanzania. So thank you very much. We're going to hear a little bit more from Miss Christine. She's going to give you her perspective from those previous 2 medical missions. So this will be her 3rd.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Kristen. Like Dr. Gabone said, we go way back. This is my 3rd time going to Tanzania, and I'm totally hooked. I could live there. It's wonderful. So I'm a school teacher. I've been teaching for 25 years or 30, something like that. But I'm really, really excited about doing a more in-depth lesson with the kids this year on nutrition and health protocols and things. So it should be a lot of fun.
No, thank you very much. On my screen next is Miss Dr. Rina.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rena Thomas. I work in Delaware, and I'm a pediatric hospitalist with Lillian and Dorothy. I've always been interested in global health, and Lillian told me about this trip, so I figured I'd try to join you guys. So I'm excited to meet everyone here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rina. She is going to also help us with Help a Baby Breathe training, and I think as what Dr. Dorothy said earlier, and everything else afterwards. So we are going to go to school also. So as the physician, they'll be able to help us with the screening on the kids at school. So all those things are coming. As I said, we're going to share the schedule at the end of the month of August. So you will know where exactly you're going to be at what time and which day and for how long, and all those things are going to be detailed and spelled out. So don't worry about it, but every single person is going to be busy. Even if you are non-healthcare worker, sometimes you might have to go to hospital to try and help some of the logistic stuff. So as I said, you're going to get the schedule. Don't worry about that part yet. So thank you, Dr. Rina. Next on my screen is Dr. Guido.
Hey, everyone. My name is Fabian Guido. I'm a peds hospitalist in Delaware, and I'll be joining the mission for the first time and looking forward to do Helping Baby Breathe and whatever else Dr. Gabone wants us to help.
Thank you, I appreciate. Dr. Guido has been working tirelessly behind the scene, all these logistic and training meetings, making sure we are getting things that we need during the medical mission. Him and Dr. Msambichaka have been working to secure some of the supplies for Help Baby Breathe. So, and also the whole team for Help Baby Breathe, Dr. North, I believe she's included in there, Dr. April, also included in that. So thank you very much, everybody who is working behind the scene to facilitate this training, because it's important for to share the same knowledge that the colleagues in Tanzania needs to help this baby breathe or baby transitioning. So thank you very much. On my screen, I think somebody who using Infinity. Okay, so we're gonna go through the document quickly with step by step by the visa, starting with the visa. And as I said, I sent that information, the step-by-step on your email yesterday. So probably you have to like pull it up and then fill out the information. Majority of information, everybody who has traveled before, they know what to fill out. There's only 2 pages that definitely you have to make sure it matches the rest of the group. So we can have that there should not be any issues with the visas. And I know when I sent those attachments yesterday, and people were asking why certain information was sent, or those documents, but I'm going to go over them quickly right now so we can understand what exactly we need. I am going to share my screen. Okay, so when we are talking about the visa, we are going to apply the multiple entry visa. So this is specific for people who can come in and multiple times. So usually you have to go and you have to come back and then go back. So you have almost a whole year. So some people may be able to use 2 or 3 times entries to Tanzania. If you can, that'll be lovely. You are free to go. It's going to cost us $100. So each person who is applying is going to, you have to pay the $100 fees. During the, before you start doing the application, make sure you have 2 by 2, the one passport size photograph. So usually the one that works well is the one that either you use it for the passport application, or if you have, just go to those CVS and press it, because that picture, it's already on 2 by 2s, and then also it might be easier to upload it to the end of the application. I know Mr. Pranka might give you some feedback how to like reduce the size of the thing. When we get to the uploading, I'm gonna share, we're gonna share what we did, because Mr. Pranka and myself, we applied yesterday, and we have a few things that we can help you as long as, I mean, when you're going through this list. So you are going to have the introductory letter, which is from the Mwananyamala. That letter was included, it's a PDF form. You have to upload that towards the end. The attestation is that the one I wrote for you guys to say, to validate that you are in a QHSC group, because then invitation letter is spelling that Dr.Gabone QHSC group is coming. So I have to attest that you are in that group. That letter, if you look at the second page, the list, the people are listed in there, but I have to say you belong to that list. It's not like you make it up. And then another attachment is the IRS, which I send that. The IRS is not for you. The IRS is to say that the organization is legit, is registered in the United States, and that's the form that we have. And then the next one is the 2022 Florida Not-for-Profit Corporation Annual Record. That is just to say, yes, the QHSC group I'm going with is legit and is current to its dues. It's not like we're delinquent. So those things is just to support that the QHSC is the legit group and you are part of the group. So that's why you see a number of attachments. One that you should have yourself is the saved PDF ticket. So whatever you receive from Mr. Noble, it should come in a PDF format. If not, you can do just a screenshot of each page. Make sure the first page has your name on it, because most of the time when you go to the email, your name is showing up, and then you view the e-ticket. When you click on it, usually it comes just the itemized things without your name. So you have to make sure that the first page with your name is, because when you're submitting it for the visa, they need to see this ticket belongs to you. And then of course you need the credit card at the end. So, and then this is the link that you are going to use for the application. But as I said, collect all the stuff information you have first, ready, available, saved in your computer, and then you start doing the application. Because sometimes if you leave, you have to come back and log it a little bit a different way, because you already opened the application. So it's going to take you a different route to start again. So make sure you have that part. So I'm going to show you the screen before I click on it. So once you click on that link, this page is going to come. The page is going to ask you to put your email, passport number, passport issue country. I mean, all that information is self-explanatory. I don't have to repeat that, but you guys should know that. But just remember, the email you put is going to be, you're going to receive the application ID when that email. So make sure it's easy accessible. Maybe don't use the work email, because just in case if you're not at work, you might not be able to access that part. So just use the personal email, which will be easier to access that part. And then so the next page, once you finish the part and continue, it's going to give you the application ID number. So this was just for me testing it. It's not legit. If you go right now to using that one, it's not going to work. So, but anyway, the system will produce for you. This is individualized. It's per person, and then it's going to give you the date you started. So you said it proceed next. So you click next, and then you go. It's going to give you places now to start putting your personal information. So this is, again, is self-explanatory. Put your information, your nationality, where you're born, because that's going to be reflected on your passport. So it should match. And then next page is going to ask you the contact information. So your cell phone, just remember on this part here, yes, you're going to, oops, it's going to use your Tanzania, sorry, your US number, but when we get to the resident and stuff for information about Mwananyamala, remember to change that to Tanzania, because otherwise it's going to keep saying you have error. Physical address and your employment is going to be included in there. So just remember to complete that. Now the passport information is going to be a little drop down here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Yeah, right there. So you select a passport type or ordinary, and then the passport number, the information, the rest of the information, you know that part. Next, you're going to go to now Tanzanian embassy. So it's going to ask you where you're applying from, of course, the US, the embassy that you're going to use, of course, the Washington, DC, because that's the main place that we are sending all this application to. And then type of visa, you see it says multiple entry visa. Yes, so you have to be able to fill out that information. And then the purpose of the visit, we used to have mission, but the word mission now theirs is not there. I don't know why somebody updated, I don't know. But the closest one that makes sense to me, it says consultants with registered company, which because we're going to be going through those 3 hospitals and the school and the NGO and other institutions. So that is the closest correct options we have. So put it out. If you've never been to Tanzania, then you can say yes. Like Miss Christine, you have to say no and then put the last visit. This one usually is the option because it doesn't have the red star, but you can put if you still have your visa number for last visit. If not, even just a date, yeah. Because once you put that information, they will put your name back to wherever they will show, we see that report. And then destination is Tanzanian mainland. And then port is the airport. So we are going to the same airport and we are leaving from the same airport. And then so the date of arrival is the 12th, unless you're arriving that 11th or the 13th, but more likely majority of you guys are arriving on the 12th. Stay duration usually supposed to be 16 hours, just add another day just because we know airline and whatever, so at least we can be covered. So if you are coming in early, just put the duration up to the day that you're arriving back to the country, just in case if there's any delay or anything else, you don't feel like you are out of the date that you qualify, you specify. Okay, so I just put 17 for people who are being there the whole time for the medical mission. Now, this is the part that everybody have to have the same information. It's on the invitation letter. So the host is, well, you're given an option, you can't type in. So you just say company organization, because remember we are going to work in the hospitals. So the full name of that place is called Mwananyamala Regional Referral Hospital. And then the phone number is right there. You don't have to write it right now because it's on the invitation letter. I'm just trying to make sure you will see what information is needed. And then the person who is inviting us or send that letter is Dr. Banera, but this is the email address. And then every organization has a number. So this is an identifying number. Almost like here we call the EIN number. So but Tanzania, they call the organizational registration number. So that's the number we put it in there. As I said, this information is on the invitation letter. And then the relationship of us to go there is just because of the medical mission training. If there was no medical mission, we would have never gone to Mwananyamala. So yes, it sounds like a little bit weird because you expect to say, I don't know, spouse or something, but no, we are going for medical mission training. The physical address, you put the PO box right there. That's how they identify from Tanzania. You put that address. That's what is on the invitation letter. We put that part. And then for accommodation. So we are going to stay on a hostel, but there was no option for the hostel. They just say hotel. So we put that one, that's fine. The physical address for the hotel, for the hostel is Edward Sokoine. So this is the one that you have to get it here because you don't have any information with you right now. But this is the one that you need to put, and this is the place that you will be staying in Dar es Salaam. Okay, and then so this also is, everybody should fill out the exactly same information that is shown here. So are you traveling as part of the group? Yes. So what the group name? So that's the Dr.Gabone QHSC. Remember, as I said, that's how we have to give the attestation. I have to give the IRS information about the organization, and I have to do the annual record to make sure we are legit and we are current. So you can use that information because that information, I mean, the name of the organization is written on the invitation letter. That's why we are providing supporting information to the application. And then are you being accompanied by minor? No, we don't have anybody. I'm hoping nobody's going with a kid, right? I hope so. But anyway, so now the documentation to be uploaded, you're gonna come up to this screen. So this is the part that gives a lot of trouble. As I said, you can put the picture that you use for, either if you just got the brand new passport, you can use the picture for the passport, or you can use the picture that has less pixels. And then it will agree. So anything above 300, I think KB is gonna be blocking. It's gonna say maximum, maximum, maximum. It wouldn't let you proceed. But so you have to more likely to take that picture, open it on your computer and then screenshot. So if when you screenshot it, it takes less pixels, and then make sure you just shrink it, and then it should fit 2 by 2, and then you can upload. And then so, yes, Mr. Siakabe.
I was gonna add, so you can screenshot it, or you can snip it, or you can actually resize it. And if I get a chance to, show a screen for another part of this meeting, I'll just show quickly how to resize it. And that worked for me. And then sometimes when you resize it, it may accept it. You might be like at maybe 328 or 400 kilobytes, and it may accept it, but it might still be too big. And then sometimes once you've resized it, just click on something else so that the kind of like to get the screen to refresh or something like that. Don't hit refresh, but click on something else. And then if you're scrolling through some of the options and you get to an option, like let's say for country or something like that, I would say just click on that option. Don't hit enter, because I think sometimes that happens and it takes you somewhere else or something like that. So if you have an option on one of those scroll downs or those little menus and stuff like that, just click on it. Don't hit enter. Just click on it with your mouse. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Siakabe. And then so the second document is going to be your passport. So this is the passport page, the picture page that you submitted to me, but that's the same thing. You have to make sure you can see all the information. So take a picture of it, and then you have to play around with it to see how much it is. Sometimes it's even easier to take the passport and get a copy of it, like put it on a copier machine and then close it and then take a copy, because the pixels are not the same as an actual HD picture, because now we have all these fancy cameras or phone. Then you take a picture with a lot of HD or whatever. So then to upload, it's going to refuse. So you have to take it back, but you don't want to not having a good picture, because they have to be able to read it. So the passport page, once it's accepted, as Mr. Siakabe just said, click on maybe on either side, on this side or whatever where there's no text or anything else, to see if it's accepted. So usually the red text above it, if it says maximum or exceeded, is going to disappear if the size of them picture is accepted. Okay, so the next part, usually it doesn't have that much problem, but you have to have this document ready to go. So here for Tanzania, they ask for passport or national ID. We don't have the national ID. We already submitted the passport on the top right there. So now for us, use the attestation here, the PDF attestation I sent you, the one that has your name and your passport number, put it in there. Usually, because it's a PDF, when you upload it, it's a very small part, so it's going to be accepted no matter what. So you uploaded that one there. So then for the return ticket, they do want to see you're coming back. I know some of us who want to stay there longer, but you want to come back. So you have to have your the whole ticket in the PDF format and then upload it under the tickets there. So it should be agreed. Make sure it's only one document, because they don't give you a chance to put it 2 or 3 pages. No, everything, even if it's 3 or 4 pages, put it in one document and upload there. And then another document is invitation letter. So we use that, it says Mwananyamala. That's why you put the invitation letter there. And then should, because it's on a PDF, it's going to go in there. Mr. Siakabe, you have a question again or comment? You are muted.
When you finish with this section before you move on.
Okay. So yeah, so the invitation letter is on PDF, so you can upload there. You should not have any problem, because all the documents that I sent it to you, they're all in PDF, so you should not have any problem. But I just want to make sure you know which information goes where. And then it says a copy of registration and certification or certification of incorporation or compliance. That's the part we want to make sure we're in compliance, and that's why you're putting the annual report from the Florida 2022 that we paid our dues already. I think there's another last one is certification of the registration. So that's the IRS. So if this organization was registered or something, yes, it was, and IRS can testify for that because they're taking our money. Anyway, so this is the part that you put the IRS form. And I said the IRS is for the organization, not for the person. Because people are like, okay, so should I have to start putting my form? I said, no, this is not your personal. This is just to say the organization is paying its dues or tax or whatever, or it's recognized by the IRS people. So that's why you upload, and that form is in a PDF. Yes, Mr. Siakabe?
No, I was just gonna add that as you can see, it says PDF, or it'll say JPEG or PNG for the images and stuff like that. So just make sure that whatever it is that you're trying to upload is in that particular format. And then I was going to say, if you want to convert something to PDF, if you don't know how to do it, you just go save as, and then save as PDF, and you should be able to convert it from whatever it was. If it was a Word document, you convert it to PDF. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Anybody has any questions before we move on? I mean, I know a lot of people are technologically savvy, so they know what to do, and I'm repeating myself, but
yeah, Dr. Gabone.
Yes.
This is Steve Jones. Since
Hi.
we did this last year, we have to do it over again.
Yes.
And we didn't have one. Okay. So when we do it, how long is it last for? Just 1 year?
1 year, yes. So by the time
okay.
we have last year, it's going to be expiring. Yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to make sure. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. So any other questions? So for any reason, for example, if you're trying to do and you want to go back and say, you know what, I mean, I can't finish right now, or I have to go to work, or something comes up, that's fine. You can save and exit. And then, so when you leave, you have to come back. Just remember, I said in the beginning, when you started, you have to remember you have the application ID, and this is going to be on your email. So if in your email, then you make sure you go and get that form and get that number. So now, remember that link we said in the beginning? That link has always up to start. So if you take the start out, then you should be able to get to this screen, or click on this screen, because if you click on it, it's going to give you these 3 options. Either it's a new application, but you don't want to do that because you've already started the application. So you're going to go to the middle one. It says continue application. And then once you submit and stuff, we'll wait for a few days, and then you can go to visa status. Like last year when we applied, it took us probably 4 to 5 days to get it. So for example, Mr. Siakabe and I did yesterday. So I'm assuming probably by next Thursday or Friday, we get to know. I'm assuming, I know the money has already been taken, so I'm sure I'm gonna get my visa unless something weird happens. But usually take like maybe 4 or 5 days. I don't know, they said that was last year. So this year we're gonna wait and see. But if we have all this information and we've done that before, I'm pretty sure we should be okay. Unless they have any question or something, that might they're gonna ask me, because I put the information almost everywhere else that they should ask me if they have any question about that. So that's the only thing then, but just remember, always go back to your email to get the application ID, because otherwise if you start, you have to start all over again with a new ID number, and you don't want to keep doing that. And that's why I said, have all your documents ready. If you have everything in place, it should take you less than half an hour. People who are technologically savvy and they can do very quickly, probably 15 minutes you'll be done. Okay, so after you do that, you finish that page and you put your uploading and everything. So when you go to the next page, it's going to ask you for payment. So here it's going to give you your name and the person who you apply for, and then the application ID number. They're going to give you more information that specific individual. I just took mine off. And then they're going to say, review this multiple entry visa. Yes, that's $100. And then the bank information. This is from their embassy office there. And then they're going to put the dates. So payment was done the 28th. Payment due. That's what they're saying. If we are not paying it today, you can pay. We have a month to pay. But the problem is, if you don't pay, they're not going to send you the visa unless you pay. So they're giving people a chance to say, oh, you know what, I can pay until this time. Yeah, but remember, we want those visa now. So the sooner you pay, the sooner that we fix that part. So that's the amount there. And then you need to choose, they only accept Visa or MasterCard. So you have to have two ways over there. And then you proceed with a Visa or MasterCard. So once you do that, this screen is going to show up. That's the government electronic payment gateway that's specifically for Tanzania. That's how they secure. So they're going to give you your information. Of course, they're going to give you a control number. That's where you paid. That's the number you say, okay, to refer. Okay, what is it? If you have any issues, to go back to the payment. And then the bill is $100. So once that one is accepted, you're going to get the final screen like that MasterCard. So it's actually secure. All those international transactions, they always happen like that with this screen. So if it's Visa or MasterCard, you click one of them, and then you just accept your money. Sometimes you might say pending, but it's just because if you have, what do you call, notification, if you have never paid in this area, they're going to ask you to verify. Is that true you're paying for that area because you have never paid that? That's just a normal credit card precautions. So then you probably have to accept it on your text or verify somehow, and then the payment can go through. So if you have those restrictions, to make sure whatever is charged in your credit card is correct. So it's going to be a little hold until you accept it, and then it's going to be released. Once they accept it, they're going to send you the message. You said, okay, the payment went through. Any questions? So it's very easy. But I mean, putting the information, as I said, within 5 minutes, all the information you can put it in. Usually the last uploading page is the one that takes a little bit longer than necessary, but it's unfortunate. I did not design the software, so it takes a little bit longer. But as Mr. Siakabe just said, if you look at that, but the requirement is PNG, then or PEG or whatever it is, just do those things and then it's gonna feed in easily and then you'll be done. Okay. Okay, so next, we're gonna go to the next, where's my screen?
Oh, I was gonna say to everyone that Dr. Koma Dina from Dar es Salaam, she put a message in the group chat. She says that everyone at the Buguruni Medical Center is waiting for us to come, so they're excited.
Oh, nice. That is very nice. Yes, we cannot wait. So I think my computer is telling me I have too many things open. Okay, let's go back. Mr. Siakabe, do you want to do your Harmless? No. Huh?
Okay, do you gonna share screen or?
Which one should I start with?
Whichever one, I guess I'll be able to see it, so.
Okay.
All right, so we have several forms that everyone will have to complete before we go on the mission. These forms, I know last year we did one, I believe it was the Hold Harmless, and there were some other forms that we were developing, and so we will give those forms out this year. One of them is the Hold Harmless form. The other one is the safety form, which is actually myself. I'm the safety officer. So we'll go over that real quickly. And then there's one for confidentiality, which I'm sure almost everyone here is somewhat familiar with. So a lot of those same rules still apply to us as professionals. So.
Okay, we're gonna start with the safety one.
Okay, so the safety one, that one is basically we're going to speak to the stakeholders in Tanzania. We're going to find out if there are any safety issues at any of the facilities where we're going to be working, if there's something that's going on or something we should know about. Do we foresee any really bad problems or anything? Not really, but in any event, we're still gonna just have the safety brief anyway with them. And we also are requiring that our members adhere to these safety instructions as well. So if we receive information and it says, hey, you shouldn't do this or don't do that or this or whatever, and it's a safety issue, then we're going to brief everybody on it. And we are also going to expect for members to be available at those safety briefings as well. Does that mean that we have time to have like safety briefings every day and all that stuff like that? No, it doesn't. But if something does come up and we need to brief you, we will. Same thing if we go on the safari, everybody will be given some kind of safety instruction, like you don't try to antagonize an elephant. If you see an animal that's in distress from another animal, don't try to save it. Things like that. So we just want people to acknowledge that they have to follow safety instructions as we go along. If you want to go out late at night on your own or something like that or whatever, we don't encourage it. But if you do that, then of course you will be on your own at that point, because we're not advising people, to do things that are unsafe. So that's where the safety brief comes from. And it's just really, as it says there, if you look at the top, it says the purpose of the briefing is to create a culture of safety, reduce the risk of errors. So this applies also in the workplace as well. So, but it's going to apply to all aspects of the trip. So.
And also, thank you, Mr. Sekabe. To add to the safety part is language is an issue. Yes, even if Duolingo is helping, thank you, Jesus, but still language is going to be an issue. So things that if you want to go and do something that is not with the group or in a assigned location, please notify. It's going to be, as I said, we're going to put the team lead people around. Myself, Mr. Siakabe, Dr. Fabian Ngido, Dr. Lilian Sambichaka. At least we are the people from there. So chances is, if there's any issues, we know. We let you know immediately. And if you want to, let's say, oh, I want to go to buy something, wherever, it's like at night, wherever, and we tell you, no, please don't go, because if you go, something happens, we have no idea where you are. And it's not like, oh, I'm going to call 911. There's no 911. And calling them people does not guarantee that you're going to get the help you need. So I don't want anybody to get in trouble. We usually promise your family member that, okay, thank you for letting them come to the medical mission. We want to make sure we bring you in one piece. So that is what we encourage. I'm not going to say, okay, you should not go and have fun. No, but let's go have fun as a group, or something that is already checked out and secure, that is safe for you to go and enjoy that part. That's what I think part of it, this form is expecting it. I think the next form is, make sure the confidentiality one. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes. So the next form is the confidentiality acknowledgement form. All that's saying is you're just basically certifying or attesting to the fact that you understand that any information, personal, professional, or medical, that you come across during our activities there, regardless as to whether it is a volunteer. So if you see my driver's license or my driver's license number or whatever, all that information for the patients, for the students, for the teachers, for the other doctors and things like that, all that information, we want to keep it confidential. It's not our responsibility as professionals to spread that information in any way. I know it sounds like it's hard to do, but we just want to make sure that we're able to assure the stakeholders at these organizations that we're going to be protecting their interests as well. So when we do the safety briefing and stuff like that, we're going to let them know that all of our volunteers have already agreed to, and they understand all of these important aspects of their responsibility. So that's the confidentiality agreement. So
to add to it, I know, like Mr. Frank Jr., sorry, say that you will be taking pictures and stuff. There'll be other photographers there too, and videographers. we are taking those pictures through the organization, and we have to sift through and see which one is appropriate to release or which one is not. For the people with the medical background, is you are going to see things that they should not be happening. You're not supposed to take pictures and release it without being gone through the proper channels. We are not going to publicize, for example, somebody with a weird disease or anything else. I know medically we are not supposed to do that. Even if you're volunteering, you're not supposed to do that. Even if you're a non-medical person, you're not supposed to do that. You go to school and see a child maybe is wearing all these ragged clothes or something, or they have something that will be like you've never seen before, and you want to go and record it and then publicize. You're not supposed to do that. You're gonna go through the events that people are going through, I mean, the suffering or whatever. We are not supposed to release that information or share information outside unless it's during the briefing and it ends there. And if there's something that we need to release, even using those pictures for publicity or something like that, we have to follow the proper channels. Usually I get those videos and show the hospital or the administrator, but say, I'm gonna use maybe this child or this person with this diagnosis either to do fundraising. Let's say we see a child in the phototherapy and they don't have any phototherapy machines or something like that. I can use that image as long as I protect the name and the information of that child, the ID bands, look, things that we identify specific at that child. But I can take a picture of that and they know which picture I'm going to use for asking for money to get to buy those phototherapy machines. So there's specific things that we go through before we release that information. Training purposes, yes, we can record it out. Us doing the thing, teaching, hand washing, oh yeah, singing, those are the pictures ourselves, then that's fine. We can release those information, but we don't want to release information for those kids or those patients who did not agree to be released unless we go through the proper channels. So that part, confidentiality. I mean, if you work in the healthcare area, you know for sure you are not supposed to do that. So anything that is interesting, you catch it, then we have to go through the proper channels. So let them know that they are aware, okay, this is the picture that we're gonna use, but we're gonna use for, not for just publication and just being fun of it or to make it, you know, more likes. No, we just do that for fundraising purposes. We want people to help us, help them to address whatever the deficit or issue that going on. So that's the part which we're talking about. We have to be careful when we're releasing. I know people want to take pictures and through the medical mission. That's okay. As I said, you can record yourself on the safari or whatever. That's fine. You can record yourself teaching, singing, as long as it's us, you're releasing that picture. That's fine. But not, and you're releasing a picture personally, is not you're releasing because of QHSC. You can tag us for your personal pictures, yes, but not for the people who are there. Like, you're not going to record the kids and release without us knowing, because we have to be able to say, yes, that is aware of it, and oh, that's not appropriate or something like that, because we have to be aware. The children are guarded, they're protected, the vulnerable populations, that somebody who is sick is guarded or protected in the vulnerable population. So we cannot release those things easily without finding the proper channel. So we don't want to find ourselves in trouble. Okay, and the third form it is,
that's the hold harmless?
Yes, I need to find it. Oh, there we go. Yes. Yeah, I saved this one last.
The longest one. And if you're technologically challenged like myself, you will clear up the memory on your phone so that when you when you get there, you don't run out of memory space. So. Okay, Mr. Siakabe. Okay, yes, the last form that everybody will have to sign is the hold harmless form, and that's just releasing us from any kind of legal or other types of responsibility, so that we're not bound by your actions and things like that on this trip. I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with these forms, but generally, as long as there's no, I would say, like radical form of neglect on our part and stuff like that, then we're considered to be doing the best that we can to keep everybody safe and make sure that everybody's okay. So we just have everybody sign this form so that the organization is not held responsible for accidents and things like that. So.
To add to that, I mean, I'm sure if people are reading, then they'll be able to read this form word by word and make sure you agree and sign. So things like, okay, you're physically fit or sufficiently prepared for training. If you're working here and you're going to teach kids about dental hygiene and stuff, that means like you are able to convey that information. You are able to walk and get to the place that you're supposed to be. It's not like you're hiding something else and then you get there and be like, okay, oh, you know that they didn't help me to do whatever. I mean, something that is needed. If there's any concern or expectation that you want us to know, please let us know. So if there's something that we can address early on and accommodate, definitely. But if you don't tell us, we wouldn't know. And we promise to do everything possible to make sure you are protected. As I said, when we promise to take you from your family to go with us, and we promise to bring you back healthy. So we're gonna do all those measures. We're gonna investigate. We're gonna put ourselves on the places that I know for sure you are safe. The place that I know I can go by myself, I can go with a group, everybody's gonna be safe. If I'm worried about the place that I don't think I should go there, definitely I'm gonna let you know, please do not go there. It might seem okay, but it might not. So I am not going to put you anywhere in harm's way, knowingly or ignoring your safety. That would never happen. But I'm going to make sure everybody is safe. And so when we advise you to go here, not go here, eat here, do not eat here, or maybe we should wait for something else. Don't just go around with anybody else. There's a reason. And I know usually an example I always tell people, I said, Tanzanian people are very friendly. Very, very friendly. They will smile, they will hug you, they will take you anywhere they, you want to go. They will offer you, oh, let's just go watch here. I can walk you to the mall. I can do this for you. The problem is, once you are away from us, there's no way I can say, no, you can't do that, because you're not in, within the area that we wanted you to be there. So be careful. Even if you make friends, that's okay. You can come back again in Tanzania. You have multiple visa. Come back when finish the medical mission, then go back again to visit the Tanzanian people. They're very friendly, very welcoming, right, Dina and Lucas? So anyway, this is the form that if you guys can sign and then just send it to Dr. Gabone QHSC, and then so we can have it as a copy. And of course, you're gonna keep your own copy for yourself. Any question about those 3 forms?
I was gonna just add one more example there. So if you are like when we got there last year and we were at the airport, we had all our bags lined up, all the luggage and everything, and we took pictures of it, and I called it the medical caravan, because that's what it looked like a caravan of camels, like 2 miles long or something like that. But if we say, hey, can you take those bags, let's bring them over here, we got to load these bags in the vehicle or something like that. Or even if it's your own bags that you've brought there, let's say you've brought some bags, you have bags with supplies and stuff like that, and your back is not feeling well or something's wrong or something like that, then let me know and we'll get somebody else to do that work. There's no reason why you should be there hurting yourself or putting yourself in distress because of something like that. So just let us know, we'll work with you, we're there for that. So don't force yourself to do stuff that you may not be ready to do, or if you don't feel comfortable with it. If you're not feeling well, let us know. I always say that for some reason on these trips, I feel like the safest person on the planet, because there's so many healthcare professionals around, and they're all like high-speed healthcare professionals too, so.
Yes, okay, thank you. Okay, let me see. Okay, so I think a couple of things left here is, okay, so the next thing is the budget. So I know I know some of you have asked me before, and we are not sure, or there's some changes that we have to do on the budget, which is fine. We try to accommodate as much as we can. But remember, when we have 32 people from US and then 8 more from Tanzania, so we have 40 people. So when we are negotiating prices, we get these lower prices because of the group, a number of people in a group. So transportation. So when we have 40 people transfer from Luther House to Muhimbili, that the prices and the size of the car also determine how much we are going to pay. So usually we want to travel as a group, so it's easier that way versus individuals. And that's why we try to do a lot of stuff together so we can minimize the cost, so we don't have to charge, instead of like 15, 14 something for local Tanzanian prices, then it could have been probably 2,000. But we did those prices in groups. And then also when we put the prices for food, also we included the price of water in there, because there is some, it's hot. It's almost like a Florida weather. It is hot day in and day out. So water is gonna be in high demand. So when we give those prices for food, and sometimes we put it on the side, maybe extra food prices, that also support us to say, okay, you know, when we're doing the training, we can get some water. We're doing lunchtime, we can get some water. In the evening, get some water before we go back in the hostel, we get some water. So when we started doing, instead of 40 people, you pay only 30. So that means wherever the 10 people who are left, we cause the 32 people to pay more money because of less people now. Because as I said, the prices goes to the number of the group. It's in there. So I know this probably, maybe we didn't discuss this in the beginning of this medical mission, but eventually in the future mission, that's going to be something that we need to discuss. So then the fluctuation of the prices should not be there, because the prices are offered as, for a group. So if we have less people in that group, that means we have to pay more money on that time. But I said, yes, we didn't discuss this in the beginning. I understand that, but the future medical mission, we have to address that. So when we get the set price and then everybody pays their own amount, then everybody's it's gonna be fair to everybody who is going. But the ways to pay, you can do Venmo or Cash App or Zelle, or you can send a check. The check do get here. And then of course for the Cash App, I mean, there's a little code, you can scan it, or you go to the link, you can just go to Venmo or Zelle or the check. So if there's any issues or anything like that, just let me know. I'm gonna revise some of the budgets. I think there's some updates. Some people are not doing the safari. We'll address it as it is. And then we get those stuff really going, because I have an appointment with the Mr. Lamek, who is dealing with the safari Sunday. So then we have to pay all the stuff. So if there's any area that you think you're not going to do, or you're not going with a group, so I need to know that. But because once in Tanzania, once you pay, there's no refund. You don't get a refund. It's gone, it's gone. So if I pay for 40 people and then I find out only 32 people are going, that means those 8 people, I have to cover that cost, because it's already gone, it's already been paid for. And that's why I just need to make sure, if you have different, there's something that you are not able to do during that medical mission, then you need to let me know now. Because once we pay, as I said, once we secure those rooms and they get the money, they're not going to give the money back. So that's going to be just a donation for whoever we are paying for. And then that is not going to be good for the organization. But anyway, I think people who have already started paying, sending their money. So that also does help to cover those reservations now and waiting for everybody else. So as soon as you can, please send the money. The last thing was on agenda was family communication. So as I said, thank you for everybody. In fact, everybody sent the information about their contact information with their family members who are going to be here, because we do want to make sure we can communicate with them if it's needed. I mean, I don't have to like call them and tell them, oh yeah, he's doing fine or she's doing fine. I don't have to do that. You are going to do yourself. But in case of emergencies, I need to be able to say, I'm going to call this number to this person who is going to be expecting me to call them if there's any issues. And then so my question to make it easier, are those contact numbers, you want me to put them in the QHSC group? Because if there's any issues, it's easier for me just to go in there and say, oh, we are doing this, we are doing that. And then I'm going to probably communicate with that, or just tag the people on the side. Or you don't want the family member to be in that group, which is fine. There's no wrong answers. Just let me know so I know which way I can group them. So if we need to communicate with them, in case of emergency, I can access the information very quickly. And as I said, if you have any updates, that's my cell phone number. Just text me, and then so we can mark you on the list to make sure, okay, if it's in case of emergency for so-and-so, this is how you communicate with that person. Or if in case of emergency, if you post in a group, the person will get that information in the group. I will still encourage your family members should be on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp, at least you can access everywhere throughout the country. Of course, we're going to have to make, you have to make arrangement too with your phone companies, or you buy those MBs, or what Tanzania calls it, to get access to the Wi-Fi. The hostel, they do have Wi-Fi, but remember what happens if you are away from the hostel. So hospital, some of them will do, some of them might not, to get access to the Wi-Fi. So if there's any case of communication purpose and you have emergencies, just come and find me, then we'll figure out how to get you in contact with your family members. But just let me know. You have to let me know so we can get that communication set. I don't want to wait until something happens and then we're going to be scrambling and wasting more time. I want to have that set up before we get there. Any questions about that? No? Okay, so the other part is just a roundtable. Just I know for the travel insurance, if people have not have the travel insurance, please get that, and that make sure that travel insurance cover medical emergencies. As a group, majority of you guys have used the TRAWIC, so the specific TRAWIC International Safe Travel Explorer Plus. As I said, the amount for this, I think it ranges, as far as I know, from 21 to 54 something dollars, but it depends also on how much it's based on your ticket, how much your ticket costs, because one of the, if your ticket is canceled or the trip or whatever, something, they pay the full amount. So my ticket was at 880. So that's the part which you can see I put on an example here. So if there's any trip interruption, they will give back my money for the ticket. And then, so if there's medical evacuation, it's $200,000 per person. And then emergency medical, so it's 50,000 per person. So that part is like immediately right there while we're stabilizing and then get you out of there. So at least we have somewhere to start with. And then of course, if my bags are lost, it'd be like 750. And then if there's any accident to a person, then so we are praying everything is going to be fine. Mr. Jones is going to help us with the prayers. Everything will be fine, and then we come back safely, and we didn't even use that. So it's better to spend the, I don't know, $40, $50 than if in case of emergency, we have to spend $200,000, which we don't have. So that's just a reminder. And then another thing was things to pack. I think everybody knows that list now. I think we shared the list before, and now it's on the list. Just pick up or go through and see what you need to add, what you don't need to add. Majority of the stuff are very basics, but some of the stuff, I mean, if you've never traveled outside the country, then you probably need to review that list. You are going to, the people in the hospitals are going to get the one scrub, so one full scrub, and then the people who are not working in the hospital are going to get the polo with the QHSC logo. And then everybody else is going to get 3 t-shirts. So you're going to have a green, yellow, and a black t-shirt. So you can find things that matching people for in acute area. You can start finding scrubs that matches those 3 colors. So we are going to organize which colors which day, but then in between you can wear whichever the colors of those t-shirts or scrubs. The reason that we want to do specifically on those days is like we want to either have a group picture so everybody else looks like wear scrubs and everybody's wearing the same similar colors. Although if we wear different colors, that's okay. If we feel that I mean, at least it still has the logo, it still has unison of having the whole group, because we're going to take few groups for the organization and for the just to show unity of the medical mission. So all of us are going to be wearing the same uniform. As I said, that list you have. And then the last thing is just if you have not had the immunization or the anti-malaria, please get those things. It's only, I said, 42 days left. So we need to make sure you have the anti-malaria especially. And then if you give the doctor this list, they know what exactly they need to get you. And if you're allergic to one versus the other, they know that. so that we choose which is best for you, and that's what we want to. And if you have any question about this medication and stuff, I know Dr. Msambichaka, one of the meeting, she said she was happy to discuss with you and see if there's any other alternative or something like that, but she's not going to prescribe anything for you. This is just for consultation purposes. The best person to do this is your provider. So if you can do that, that would be great. So we don't have to worry about getting this medication when you get to Tanzania. But all these medication are prophylactic. I think this is what I have for today. If people have any questions, discussions, that would be lovely.
Yeah, after the questions, I have something that I wanted to propose. So.
Okay.
I had a question about the visa application. When what's the due date? When should we have that completed?
Now. As soon as you can, because sometimes I said last year we at least it took 5 days because it's electronic, but I don't know, that was and there's only 10 of us, so it was fine, but we don't want to wait too long because I think they have, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 weeks limit, because they don't want to risk it for you sending information and then you don't have the information back to go to Tanzania. Because the worst case scenario, not worst case scenario, I mean, another alternative is to go and do it at the airport, but with the long line and getting there at 2 in the morning, chances you might not have everybody there to get a visa and it might not work. And we might end up living at the airport for a while. We don't want to do that. So, I mean, if you can get at least within this week, I mean, today is what, Saturday. I mean, by next Saturday, definitely, if you have applied, that would be great. I mean, I know people have to work and stuff, I know that. But if you have at least in a week to get your stuff ready and apply, at least the first week of August, everybody knows that you have your visa, that would be great. Because the longer you wait, because I can't guarantee that it's going to be only 5 days. As I said, that was last year, and maybe somebody was energetic enough to help our visas quickly. I don't know about this year. It might take longer. And if you have not been in Tanzania, sometimes things go a little bit slower. So they might not be rushing to help you to get your paperwork ready. So that's what we want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so, sounds good.
As soon as you can, that will be great. Yes.
Cool.
Any
Thank
other
you.
questions? Anybody? Dr. Ngido, you've been too quiet.
That's okay.
I'm here listening, but I'm at work today. So.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. I was just
wondering.
I'm
listening.
Miss Christine, go ahead. As I said, yeah, she has been there and she's part of the medical mission for life. No, but we appreciate that. Definitely the children, I'm sure the children loves you, those 1,600, and now we're going to add to that list 830 kids. Yes, and oh, just to give a little note, on top of that, we do have our backpack. So now we need to fill it in there. So all those 830 backpack, they're here and they're with the logo, so it looks very nice. So we're waiting, we're excited. We just need to add more notebook stuff in there.
Dr. Gabone, will we be packing those like we did last year, packing them once we get there, everything? Yes. Okay.
Yes, so that's the part, in fact, thank you for reminding me. That's the part which we're going to talk next month, but I can just give you a brief. So we're all arriving on the September 12th, 8 in the morning. So after we finish clearing stuff from the airport and go to the hostel, then we're going to take a nap, or maybe eat something and then take a nap. And then probably we wake up around 11 or 12. So that time we're going to have a meeting with all administrators from different hospitals and school. So we can just get to know each other. So probably for, I don't know, an hour. And when we finish with them, we're going to sit down on one of the conferences already reserved, sort out those stuff, start packing all those backpacks Ms. Christine was just talking about, packing with all the stuff that we bought to make sure they're ready for the next day to start being distributed. And then we're going to just give you the way they're going to be distributed. So every time we go and teach that class, probably at the end of the class, we give them the kit, because we know as soon as you start, it's all over. The whole school is going to want some. So even the kids didn't go to school today, they're gonna come back to school tomorrow and looking for their bag. So we have to figure it out. And so I am gonna probably elicit some of you guys for logistic purposes to help and figure out which is gonna be the fairest way and which is gonna be the safest way without a lot of disruption of the class time for students. And then, so should we give them the first week? Should we give them the second week? And then we run away from there, just in case if they're not enough. But yeah, we're gonna discuss that during this time and then figuring out. So there's also sports component that we're gonna figure out the sports. So the training probably is gonna be the first week. The second week is gonna be competition just to get them fired up. So, but we need to have surprise to give them for those like, what are they called, Mr. Siakabe? The thing that they can do exercise and
pennies.
Pennies, yes. So we have to probably gather information, gather those pennies to be able to share them so they can have different groups with different group teams to just get them excited. Whatever they learn from the first week, then the second week they can compete, and we just choose a team and start cheering them up. So there's a lot of exciting things, as I said. This last month is going to be crazy. And if you're willing, please, to help on those logistic parts, just let me know. If I text you, don't hide from me. Just volunteer your time for a few minutes so we can get these things going, and then it can be a group effort when we get there. I know Mr. Siakabe had some requests. Go ahead.
That was a perfect segue, actually, because you mentioned the sports. So we had an issue, I guess, early on, and we discussed it in terms of the nutrition. However, the program that we wanted to start, we have not been able to raise the funds. We've solicited from different places. We have not been able to raise the money that we wanted to have a nice, robust nutrition program for the children, because if we're there, if they're going to be doing agility training and, you know, focusing in class and listening to all of this great information and these lessons, and we want to make sure that they have the energy that they need for that. We were hoping to be able to do that in the long term, but right now it doesn't seem like we can do that. But what I was thinking is we should at least try to come up with something that we can do while we're there. So what I'm proposing is, and I was hoping that there would be more people in the group here, but I will pitch this to everyone that's here, Miss Theresa especially, and Miss Kristen. You know, this is your thing. It's just an idea that I have. But let me just share my screen real quick. Hold on here. Okay, got it. Let's see if I can full screen it. So can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. So Miss Theresa, as Dr. Gabone had mentioned earlier, was able to get us 2,000 Cliff Bars, which we shipped to Tanzania, which we are going to be providing to the children. However, remember, we're going to be with them for a little less than 2 weeks. And as I said, there's going to be a lot of physical activity. It's going to be pretty hot. And we also know that they are, what is it called? Food insecure?
Yeah.
I think the term is, or something like that. So I was trying to figure out, well, how could we provide some kind of nutrition to them? So what I started doing, and I'm trying to find at least 8. So I'm going to pitch it to this group, and I'll pitch it to the next group, and then the next group, and then the next group. So if you look here, these are Cliff Bars. These are pretty big bars, actually. And then there's 26 in a box, and they're only $20.49. I get them at Costco. So what I do is every time I go to Costco, I pick up a box and I put it to the side. So I have 3 boxes now. Of course, I don't go often to Costco, but I go there a few times a month. So far I've got about 3 boxes, and I'm hoping to get at least 5 or 6 by the time of the trip. And I'm figuring if I can get maybe 8 more people to do the same, then that will increase the number of bars that we have in terms of some form of nutrition for the children, and that we can then kind of like expand on the 2,000 bars that we have, so that we'll be able to provide a little more nutrition for the children. Because right now those 2,000 bars, I'm assuming they'll be gone in probably 2 days, I'm assuming. So if we could just expand a little bit here, and then when we talk to the school and we get together for sports and stuff like that, I'm going to try to find out, and I have to talk with Miss Theresa and Miss Kristen about this too. If we can get some kind of a source of water, if they don't have a source of water, if we can find one, and if there's any way to add some kind of nutrients or something, or make up something that they can drink or something that can get the nutrition into their system, and then keep them hydrated as well too, because we want them to be excited, we want them to be motivated, but we don't want them to be dehydrated, and we don't want them to have any kind of medical complications because they're just having too much fun, or they're just trying to absorb everything that's being given to them. So like I said, I'll show you the, let me see if I can skip over. Can I skip over? I got this thing. Okay, hold on a second here. It won't let me go to the next. I had another picture. It's actually the bars itself, but let's see if I can.
You have to come out and go and highlight that one too.
Yeah, hold on.
No, while he's doing that, remember we're going to be working with them with sports, so they are going to be sweating. Remember, these kids don't have lunch at school, so they come at 6 in the morning and then they go home around 2 with no lunch. They have to go and eat at home. So the schools are suggesting that they can stay from 1 to 4 and meet us, so we can do our training and jump up and down, whatever exercise and stuff. So my concern with that time is like, if the child has not eaten since 6 in the morning and I'm here at 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, getting them straight, like doing more exercise with nothing to eat, I don't want them to start passing out, because they will, because they've not eaten anything else. And then for them, they're like, no, that they will be just excited for you guys to be there. I said, no, but think of a child. He's not eaten since 6 in the morning. That's not fair. So that's why Mr. Siakabe was like, maybe we should have a little more drive to add to the 2,000 that Ms. Theresa secured. So we can have this also, especially if we were asking them to do sports and stuff, just give them a little bit more of little extra bar and something to drink, because they're going to be, that's when it's hot. They're going to do exercise outside. Not like there's a gym or auditorium or anything else. No, it's outside under the heat, like in Florida. So we want to make sure they get something. And I know it's almost the last minute, but if we can, I mean, I know Mr. Siakabe is asking for 8. If we get 10, 15 people doing the same thing, that would be great.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Are we transporting those in luggage? Is that how we're going to get it there?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Also, as far as the water, they have all those nutrition packets that you can add to water. Like Gatorade and that kind of thing. They come in the little packets, the powder that you just rip off and dump in. Those would be easy to transport.
If you'd let us know which ones you recommend, then maybe we could start looking into that. We haven't met with, when we meet with Clara, I think it's going to be next week. Then we'll try to find out what the resources are that they have in terms of the water, and then we'll see, we can try to determine what we want to use. And the reason why I went with Cliff Bar for this is because Cliff Bar has already donated 2,000 bars. So I was like, well, we're going to keep the same branding. If they give us 2,000 bars, if we're going to go out, we'll support Cliff Bar as well. So
there won't be an issue with the airport bringing the food in, as long as we check it, right?
No, I think it's processed food, so it shouldn't be a problem.
No, also we are communicating with the Ministry of Health and the district of municipal district of Minazini or whatever. They are aware of what we are going to do, so we're going to get the approval of, or the acceptance for them, knowing that it's going straight to the kids. There's no selling. But usually the issue is like, are we going to sell it? But yeah, so if we're going to get those documents secured before then, yes.
Yes, so Ms. Kristen, you're right. So whether it's processed food or not, it is a large quantity, even though it's not extremely large. So you're right. They're not going to be like, oh, this is for for Parag to eat while he's here on this trip.
Right.
Even though my
That'd
kids
be
would
pretty
eat that many in a week, though.
I was just going to say, I can definitely try to accumulate, you know, some caddies of Cliff Bar from work that I can put in my suitcase for sure to add to the tally. I also had met Kristen and I had talked about, we also have the blocks and gel products, which are more, you know, based around sports activity with electrolytes and, you know, a lot of just simple carbohydrates. So I can see if I can get some of that for the specific to the nutrition program.
So
how many would be?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to ask about the sports program. Like if we were to get, you know, either, as Kristen mentioned, either the packet for water, like the Gatorade type packet, or like say the blocks product, that's a Cliff product. How many children would be participating in the sports activities?
Yeah, so there's a sports program, or they have teams, but what we're in terms of the like the physical fitness training and all of that stuff, it's going to be actually all of the students. They'll get their round. Even the what is the name that they use for the preschoolers again?
Awali.
Awali, yeah. So even the Awali grade and the next grade, everybody will get their little go at it. So we're looking at all of them actually.
Oh, so it's everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're right. They do have teams, and we are looking to make sure that we do have some focused training or learning for them as well. I think we discussed that in the last meeting. So, but yeah, so we're looking to kind of get some for everyone. So, and just try to amplify what we have or extend it, because right now.
Okay.
If we can't get 830 of the blocks, the gel packets and stuff, could we get them for like emergency, for when the kids pass out, for when the kids to like leave with the school with those instructions? Or wouldn't that work?
No, yes and no, but I'll start with a no. No, because I don't want to, if you guys work so hard to collect those stuff, and then I don't want them to be waiting in the office, not be given, and maybe not, I can't guarantee that it's going to go to the students who passed on. That's one of them. But yes, that will, they do have students who pass out during the day. And that's my concern from the beginning, when they start saying, we give you the time in the afternoon for training. And my concern was like, the child has not eaten since 6. You want me to keep them until 4 with nothing? I mean, that just was not sitting very well with me. And as I said, when we were discussing with Mr. Siakabe there, he's like, okay, can we just try to do that? I said, we can try to do as much as we can to help those kids, because I don't want them to pass out. And to Ms. Teresa's question, how many should we do that? We can aim to do for all the kids, because all the kids have that food insecurity, because this is a very at-risk population, and they don't have much. It is very sad, but if we have an opportunity to help them, that's what we are there for. And if we can secure as much as we can. Yes, if we get those bars or specific for sports, they do have 3 groups. There's netball, football, and volleyball. So that I think is like, it's almost like 74 kids who are specific, like, you know, in the team. But we didn't want to just focus on the kids on the team, because the other kids couldn't come to the team because either they don't have resources or they don't have time, or the team is too small because they only control a certain number of hours, and other kids could not come. And that's why we wanted to put it as a health focus for every child to have sports. So teaching them how to stretch and whatever, do this, even if you're not in the actual sports team, should get something. And then that's why we are aiming to try and get those Cliff Bars, extras and stuff. Yeah, 2,000 is great start. I mean, that is a huge start. There was no way we could have started without that. But if we get 2,000 more, Ms. Theresa, it will be great.
Yes. So yes. So I guess Miss Theresa said she can get some more. And all that I'm expecting is, I would say, if each person, and I'll keep pushing it, I'll keep talking to more and more members as the meetings go on. Maybe I'll post it online or within the group and stuff like that as well. So if Miss Theresa is going to get some, then so we're up to 7 now. So we just need 7 more people to get some more bars. And
no,
then,
I'm gonna take Miss Theresa out of that. Miss Theresa is on her league on her own. She's gonna get as much as we can. So we have to match what she has.
she's already gotten 2,000, right?
I know we need to match her. So everybody should jump in and try and match her because she's working so hard. Kristen. So we need to match them to support these kids. I mean, when you guys see these kids, you will see what I'm saying.
Yeah, I was going to say we have, you know, like our team does production trials and stuff, and sometimes there are leftover bars, you know, from testing and trials, and they're perfectly fine. Like they go through all of the food safety protocols as regular bars and stuff, and oftentimes they're wrapped in regular packaging as well. So, but it's a question of how many I can fit in my suitcase.
No, you try to collect as much as you can, and if we end up have to pay for extra luggage, then we work on that part. But as much as you can, that'll be fine, because if there's an opportunity to get those for free, then if somebody was willing to buy them, you know, like instead of buying them, they can pay for the extra.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, you get as much as, keep taking pictures. We want to see.
Okay, let me see how much I can get, how much I can accumulate.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
No, that's very good.
When the education and sports and all of these other meetings come up, I'll keep soliciting them as well.
No, yeah, definitely, that would be good. I see one of the Gabones in there. Hi, who is that? I don't think they have a mic though.
Let me see. No, they don't have a mic.
They don't have a mic. But anyway, any other thing, so I can let you guys go. Thank you very much for coming on the meeting. I mean, that is helpful, but let me know if you have any questions. We need to keep communicating as much as we can. And I'll try to answer you all the questions or comments or text or email in timely as soon as I see it. Sometimes I'm in the middle of either with my students, so I can't answer in the clinical area, but I will try to answer them as soon as I can. If you don't hear from me within 24 hours, please text me back. Maybe I saw it and then I forgot to respond to it. But as I said, 42 days is not that much. I'm counting in meetings and stuff. I feel like I don't have any other free day. So we need to get going, and we're going to have a great experience. I can't wait. I cannot wait. But we have to work together and try to straighten up things so we can have a great experience. And I'm hoping you get the best experience ever. If there's any suggestion, any questions you have, please let me know ahead of time so we can address it and include it if it's possible to during the medical mission, we can address it, and then so you can get the best experience too. You have something? Mr.
Yes.
Siakabe, your hand? Okay.
Oh no, I was just scratching my hand. Maybe I can feel the Cliff Bars coming. No, I was going to say, if you run into any issues getting the visa, just text us or whatever, and we'll get on the phone with you and try to help you one way, or we'll figure something out. Hopefully somebody will be available and we'll try to help you with it. So.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. If you can unmute even for 1 minute, we have a screen picture, and then everybody else, I will let you guys go. You can enjoy your Saturday. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, I guess I have one more question,
yes.
and I guess before we go, one more question. It's just about the visa again. So
Yes.
maybe I'm not understanding, but you answered the question. I just want to throw something else out there. So we can only get the visa for 1 year, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so every time we apply, like now we apply, whatever the day you get open up to a year. Let's say I get my visa on August 4th. So it's gonna start August 4th, 2022 to August 3rd, 2023. So I have permission to go in the country as many times as I can. So I can go in September, I can go in October, I can go in January, I can go in May, which I've done that before because yeah, you have a visa. So once it gets to August 2nd next year, it expires.
Got it.
Right, and when you click on the little box, it'll be for multiple entries.
Got it.
Or multiple entry visa.
Yes. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Enjoy your Saturday. And again, thank you for coming. Thank you for joining QHSC. We are blessed to have your presence here. So thank you. Be blessed.
Thank
Dorothy,
you.
still there?
I have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right.